And do you feel like business is for everybody? Do you feel like anybody can open a business? Everybody has a business within them?
I watched my parents work incredibly hard. Now we all have a stage because social media has become our stage. I've made over £1 million from...
What advice would you give to somebody that's watching this and maybe they're in a corporate job?
But I think he saw how hard entrepreneurship and business can be.
Hi guys, and welcome to this week's episode of Women Empowered. Today I've got an amazing guest with me, but I'd love to introduce you to Bianca Miller-Cole.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to the podcast. Yeah, so Bianca, those that don't know you, introduce who is Bianca Miller-Cole?
Oh gosh, so many things. So I'm a serial award-winning entrepreneur, Sunday Times bestselling author, personal brand strategist, and speaker. And I speak around the world on topics about personal branding and entrepreneurship. And I now train people on how to become speakers themselves. I was finding so many people had such great experience and knowledge, but just didn't know how to share it or articulate it from the stage and get paid for doing so. So now I just utilize all of my knowledge to help other people achieve their goals and dreams.
Amazing. And your mum?
And I'm a mum and
a
wife and all the other stuff.
Superwoman.
Yeah, I mean, when you start having to wear all these hats and juggle, I think that's only right we call ourselves superwomen. I like it.
Yeah, you are. So, yeah, like big respect and, you know, just grateful for your time. And yeah, my journey with you started with The Apprentice.
Okay.
I saw you on The Apprentice. I thought, wow, who is this black woman that's just bossing it? That's just authoritative. That's just, you know, you just had this confidence that I thought, yeah, I really like her. And then I followed your journey since. And I think most people, online probably know their journey with you probably began from there. I'm assuming so, right? So I want to know a bit more about Bianca prior to The Apprentice. Where did your journey begin? What I mean by that is, what was your upbringing like? You know, did you come from an entrepreneurial background? Tell me a bit about your childhood.
Yeah, I did. So growing up, my parents never had full-time kind of corporate jobs. They were very much entrepreneurs. So growing up, my dad was into property at first, then luxury kitchens. So he started a luxury kitchen brand in the UK. So he was very much an entrepreneur through and through. I don't remember him ever doing anything else. He tells me now, you know when the parents want to tell their like old stories. He'll tell me now about his job that he had for all of maybe a couple of years. Yeah. But he was very much an entrepreneur. My mum was a freelance makeup artist for TV. So she used to do the makeup for Mystique. She did Destiny's Child, Tyrese, like So Solid. So she was very much in the industry. And so I grew up, I guess, in a unconventional household, I guess by most people's kind of respects. But it was very much a go-getting household. I kind of felt like if you had an idea, if you wanted to make something happen, you had to work for it. Yeah. And I watched my parents work incredibly hard. And I saw the stress. I saw the ups and downs that comes from being self-employed. But I also saw a lot of the ups and the joy that they had from the fulfillment of being able to do things they loved.
Right. So you grew up with winners around you.
Yeah.
You grew up in an environment where, you know, against the grain of most people in society. So that kind of was like your foundation to your robust mindset. So what was your school journey like? Did you go to uni? Did you go into corporate?
Yeah. So I went to university, studied business management economics. Okay. Left university in a recession. So, you know, all of what I think I'd been promised from a young age was like, Bianca, go to school, do well at your GCSEs. Bianca, go and do your A-levels, go to university, and then you'll be guaranteed a corporate graduate position and so on.
But did your parents, that was like the societal, what were your parents saying?
I think that was my parents too, yeah. My dad, it's funny now looking back, he was like, you know, just get a good corporate job, you know, get your 28 days holiday, get your pension. Yeah. He's like, you don't need this stress. And I feel like he was saying that, but I don't think he meant it because he's an entrepreneur through and through. Right. He didn't do that. But I think he saw how hard entrepreneurship and business can be. And as much as I was always driven and I was always quite entrepreneurial from a young age, I was setting up shop in my bedroom. I had a dance agency at 14. I had a under 18s parties company at 17. Like, I was that type of person. But I think he also thought, you know, if you were strategic about corporate life, and I still believe this to this day, if you're strategic about corporate life, you can have a very nice life. You can ascend the career ladder, do very well, get equity, get shares, and live a very, very nice life. But you can also do that in entrepreneurship. So my dad, I think, was like, go and get the corporate job, at least at first.
Yeah.
But then he was also, I mean, and that's why parents are confusing. He was also like, join the family business.
Oh, okay.
I was like, which one is it?
Tightly pulled at both ends.
Yeah, which one is it? But so yeah, I did. I went to university, got a corporate job for a couple of years, and then left and started doing my own thing.
Right. So what industry, when you were corporate, what industry were you in?
Sure. So so business management economics degree, expected to get that sort of kind of graduate job. Struggled to get onto a placement for the types of companies I wanted to work for. Ended up getting a temp position at Accenture, which is a management consultancy company. And I was a HR advisor. I had done like one module of HR at university. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I'm a quick learner. So I was now immersed in that corporate life, and I was definitely learning and building my personal brand. And it was there that I started delivering personal branding training for the graduates. And that's how I learned about personal branding. And so that's when 2.5 years in, I left.
You left off. So was personal branding big back then? I guess it was, but different. It wasn't very social media heavy then.
Yeah, so it wasn't about social media. It was very much about how do you present yourself? How do you show up to work? How do you communicate? How do you dress? And if you think about, so Accenture being a management consultancy, what really that means is they're a company that sends their employees out to other companies. So you were representing Accenture when you were at these other companies, and they were finding at times they weren't being represented accurately. So they were like, Bianca, you're good at this sort of thing. Go and help these graduates understand how to represent us. So that's when I started doing that training. And that's when I first started speaking on stage. And I was like, oh, I love this. I can be on stage. I can help people and have a good time and get the, you know, the adulation and the applause that you get from being on stage and people looking up to you. Like, this is cool. So that was kind of when I realized what speaking can do, and that I had an ability to be able to communicate something that was quite simple and innate to me, but actually help someone understand it in a fun but conducive way that would help them to achieve their goals.
Yeah. So you were doing that for Accenture. You realized, you know what, I can just do this myself, right? And then how was the journey to you leaving your job?
So I left Accenture. They were like pushing me to go for promotion. And I think it's important to reflect on things. And I was like, I love this company. I love what they're doing. I love the flexibility, but this isn't what I want long term. So I decided to leave. I went into recruitment because I heard you can make great money in recruitment. I was working hard anyway. I'm a hard worker. Why not be, you know, paid for the work, properly, right? But I hated it. I hated the job.
Really? Yeah. What type of recruitment was it? What, do you know?
It was financial recruitment.
My husband was in IT recruitment for years.
I didn't like the environment.
It's sales.
It's
heavily sales.
Yeah. And now, knowing what I know now, I probably would be good at it. But at the time, it was quite a bullish environment.
Like Wolf of Wall Street. It
was very and dog eat dog, and like I'm not offended by swearing, but I don't want to be sworn at. Like you know what I mean? Like, you're my manager. I don't know why you're speaking to me like this. Like, I'm a small woman, but I'm a big woman. Like, who are you talking to?
Calm down now.
Calm down. So I was like, this doesn't work for me. But I also saw that people were coming in for these recruitment jobs, and they were like £1,000 a day accounting job, right? Still not appropriately dressed, couldn't articulate their CV. LinkedIn was terrible. So I was like, I can do this. I can train people to build a personal brand that would help them to, you know, elevate their career opportunities, but also get into an organisation and just thrive. So that's what I did.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. No, a lot of I didn't know you were in recruitment, because I really respect people that go through recruitment, because I feel like if you could do that, if you could do recruitment, you can have your own business. Yes. 100%. Yeah. Like, you know, my husband that was in recruitment, he says business is easier than what I was doing in London Bridge.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And one of my uncles had a recruitment. So you can see entrepreneurial family. My dad's brother had a recruitment company and sold it for really good money. So I was like, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah.
It just didn't make sense for me.
No.
But this was 2012. That's when I
Okay.
started my first company officially.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2012, started your first company. How did you find the transition? Because the thing is that a lot of people, I find, they're in 2026, it's like we're in this information era, right? So a lot of people are consuming a lot about business, about, dreaming, mindset. But I feel like there is a difficulty. I feel like business is somewhat, now portrayed as very, very easy. You can just follow your dreams, follow your passions, whatever it is, go for it. But it's painful, it's difficult, So going from a steady, role that you were amazing, you were excelling in, to doing it yourself. How did you find that transition initially? How did you find that?
It's hard. Like, it's hard because I had my husband, now boyfriend at the time, we had bought a property together, so I had bills. I wasn't living at home. When you're living at home, I feel like that's the best time to try something, right?
Yes.
And so luckily I had the support of him, but I also had some savings. I had a little bit of investment from a family friend. So I had enough to start the business, but on reflection, I didn't do all the right moves at the right time because I was green, right? And so that journey of going from I get a salary every month to I need to make a salary every month is a massive transition.
Yeah.
So, but again, consistent and hard worker.
Yeah.
I was going to networking events on my own 3 to 4 nights a week.
Wow.
And I don't like it, by the way. I know people look at me and like, she's outgoing. She must really, no one. Some people, not many people want to go to a networking event on their own, age 21, in an environment where everyone's in big corporate jobs with big fancy titles.
Yeah, and they probably don't look like you.
Don't look like you. And you're now trying to, get in with them to some degree. Like I had a strong elevator pitch, but I'm like, I need to make money here and I need to make it work. And so I'm going to these events, some are worthwhile, some are not. But the more you go to events, the more people start to say, hey, who's this girl that keeps turning up to events? What does she do?
Okay, so before we move on, what gave you that bee in your bonnet, right? Because this is another hurdle. Going to networking events, I help a lot of women. I say, get yourself out there. Come on, get yourself out there. But there's a confidence.
Yeah, of course.
A confidence gap there. What helped you at the age of 21 step into these rooms?
When I left my corporate job, I thought, what's the worst that could happen starting this business? The worst thing that could happen is I go back to my job, right? And that's not terrible.
Right.
But that's the worst thing that could happen. But I don't want to fail. And I think the thing for me, the impetus was, I don't have a choice. I need to go out there and meet people so I can get work, so I don't have to go back to the job. And so I think sometimes there's a confidence hurdle, but the more you do it, the easier it becomes.
Yes.
Or you just get over it because you know what? Life is not easy.
Right.
And sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do.
Right.
And you do it consistently and you get better at it or you get results.
Right.
And when you get the results, you want to do it more. And so when my options were at this point, I need to get business, right? So my options are option A, I do cold calling. I hate cold calling. With a passion.
Yeah.
I did recruitment.
Yeah.
I still hate it.
Yes.
Right? So I was like, I hate this. I have to do this by day to get, or I have to start sending emails. I can send emails. So the cows come home, fine. I got good at LinkedIn, right? Cool. But these things are not necessarily connecting. How do I build connection? I have to do it in person. And by doing it in person, I was yielding better results. So if I have to do something I don't like, to get the result I need, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And so that's what made me go.
Yeah. So the pain of staying the same has to outweigh the pain of going through that awkward conversation.
Looking at your bank account should make you do things you don't want to do sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're looking at, you're like, this is going down. It should be going up.
Right.
I need to get out there. I need to put myself out there.
Okay. So give me like a quick, fire, 3 tips, I would say, for networking, for people that are finding it, that's struggling to get themselves out there, or even, let's say, okay, they booked the ticket, they're in the room.
Sure.
Oh my gosh, Bianca Miller's over there.
Yeah.
I'm really nervous.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to her.
Yeah.
what can you twig in their mind to be like, go?
Okay, a couple of tips. Number one, if you are starting out and you're nervous about networking, if you have a friend or can find someone who is at a similar stage to yourself potentially, who also needs to go networking, go together, but don't stay together. So you go to the networking event together, so you've got someone to go back to. If things get hard, if it hits the fan, and you are standing there on your Jack Jones, looking around, feeling aimless, at least you know Sarah is over there. You can go back and you can find Sarah. Yeah.
Good advice.
And then you go back together briefly. Maybe Sarah's talking to someone, you go and speak to them. Then, but conversely, she can come to you. And you just got that support. I think that helps so much. Because there were so many times where I was like, get into an event, walk into an event. Other tip, get there early. Don't get there. Getting there early is so important.
Yes.
Getting there in the middle means the room is full. You now have to navigate a full room. If you get there early or one of the first person you meet, the person who's the organizer, typically. You do your elevator pitch to them, so that's tip number 3. Have your elevator pitch tight.
So meet the organizer would be the best way, really, isn't it?
Yeah, they know everyone in the room.
Right.
So if you get there early, yes, you've got your friend with you, but you've gotten there early, you've met the organizer, you've given them your elevator pitch, so who you are, what you do, why you do it. They're going to be more inclined to be able to introduce you to the next relevant person.
Absolutely.
You've now shortcut the whole system of having to search around to find someone. That's the hardest bit.
Yeah.
So I think those are my top 3. Number 1, bring a friend with you. Number 2, get there early. Find the first couple of people that are going to be there. If you give a good elevator pitch to them, so that's number 3, elevator pitch, then they can introduce you to other people throughout the night.
Right.
You do the same for them. Now it's about networking karma. Because you're doing great work, they want to introduce you, you want to introduce them, and it just creates a better environment.
That's solid advice. Is your network your net worth?
Yes.
Okay. What if you have nothing to offer?
You always have something to offer.
Okay. So let's say
if you have nothing to offer, you've got no business starting a business.
Yeah, true.
Because the whole reason you started a business is because you think you could solve a problem.
Yes, correct.
So that means you've got something to offer. Now, I guess going back to your question of, okay, Bianca's in the room or someone else significant is in the room, whatever, you want to go up to them, you don't know what you have to offer. 1, come prepared with your elevator pitch. So you've got something to say about the problem you solve. And 2, I think you want to come from a position of service. Not like, not let me bow down to you, but like, if you've genuinely got something to offer and you think it's going to help them, how do you articulate that in a way that gets them interested, that piques their interest?
Yes, I agree. And that's actually really good because as you're talking, I was thinking, let me think about the people that have approached me, right? And to be honest with me, like I'm quite new to online and I've just been like behind the scenes. And at my event, I had a lady approach me and she was like, can I moderate for you on your next event or something? And I was like, yeah, actually, why not? And that's it. But she came to me when it was quiet.
Chose her moment.
Right. And I thought, actually, do you know what? Like, that's actually really smart what she did because she solved a problem for me. And, I'm new to the events world. And I thought, she's experienced because she told me I've done this, I've done that, done that. And I thought, okay, cool. She came to me with an offer, which is, absolutely.
And the thing is, right, and that I'm not necessarily saying you're offering your services for free.
Yeah.
Sometimes you should. Sometimes they get into the right rooms on occasion, but not often. I'm not a big advocate for doing things for free necessarily. But if she offered great value to you and she moderated that one event and as a result that event was improved or as a result you had a better conversion in the room, next time she can say to you, okay, well, what was the results like? Did you enjoy it? What's the feedback and so on? She maybe has the video footage, she's got the testimonial, case study, whatever. But then she can say to you, okay, well, you had a one taster.
Yeah. Now you
need to pay me.
And I'd happily pay.
Right. And that's the difference.
Okay. Really good advice there. So in terms of your speaker academy, I want to speak on that. I feel like I've noticed, I don't know if I'm right, so it's interesting to know your thoughts on this. I feel like there's a big drive now in speaking. I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people that are building personal brands online, they want to be on stage, they see the value of it, which I think that there's been a shift. I don't know if that's just me when I'm new to the game, I'm noticing a bit more. So I wanted to ask you, do you feel like everybody has the ability to be a speaker? Do you feel like that?
Yes.
Yeah?
I think that there is a shift. I would agree with you. I think more and more people recognize that communication is currency. And so when we think about communication and being a speaker, it's not just about being on stage. That ability to speak and communicate is relevant in so many facets of your life. So whether that's right now, we're communicating, right? We're going to create a podcast. You're going to put it out on your platform. I'm going to put it on my platform. As a result, more people are going to get to hear what you have to say, what I have to say, right?
Yeah.
That can then turn into currency, because that currency might be more followers. That might be more people who want to go on your program or my program or want to connect with us in some way. And that is an important part of you building your personal brand, because your ability to communicate who you are, what you do, and why you do it is going to help you with that connection. So when people think about speaking, I know they think about being on stage, and that is important. But now, and this is not how it was when I started 2012, now we all have a stage, because social media has become our stage.
Right.
Never before have we had the ability to connect with people without, like, across using our phones and digital devices, without having to pay for advertising.
Right.
We can create our own community from our ability to communicate. So when people come to our speaking academy, yes, they're coming to understand how to be on stage, but that stage could be a webinar. That stage could be a virtual talk. That can be a physical stage. That could be a podcast. That can be doing more media and radio. There are so many different stages. And for some, it's how do I now communicate better in my workplace so I can negotiate a better salary, so I can lead better. Like, it's just about confidence as well as anything else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, look, I've been speaking for, I think it's about 14, 15 years now.
Yeah.
I've made over £1 million from speaking on stage.
Yeah.
And that is from me speaking and getting paid a fee to speak. Yeah. That does not include the revenue that is generated when I sell from the stage. And so when we think about speaking, in our speaking academy, we are training people to understand what is their niche topic.
Yeah.
What's their expertise? How do they articulate and share that expertise from the stage in a way that connects with an audience? And then how do they market themselves and build the business of speaking so that they can build a consistent income from clients and corporate clients? So as a result, our speakers are now speaking for big brands like Amazon, Meta, cancer charities, Adidas, flying to Amsterdam to go to their head office. Like, that is what our speakers are doing, and getting paid thousands of pounds to share their knowledge from the stage.
Wow.
Now, this is knowledge that they've always had, but didn't know how to communicate. Or this is knowledge that they always had, but were speaking for free. And so that's the change, is not only do you get the confidence by being on the academy, but you understand the business of speaking, and that's how you start to build that consistent income. And so for some of our speakers, it's not always about getting paid from the stage. Some of them are now selling from the stage. They've got their consultancy business, they've got their one of my speakers has got like a retreat that she's selling.
Yeah.
So if you think about that in the context of being on stage, right? Say there's 100 people in the room, 20% conversion, so 20 people.
Yeah.
Say she's charging 5k for her retreat.
Yeah.
That's £100,000 from the stage.
Yeah.
Very different to getting 3k to 5k to get paid, but
right.
still an opportunity to earn revenue.
Okay. And, when it comes to your business career, strong businesswoman, like, has anything like caused a major mindset shift for you in terms of the way you do business, in terms of the way you perceive yourself, in terms of your confidence and the way you put yourself out there to the world? Has there been like a pivotal moment that's happened that's allowed you to step into not Bianca Miller, but Bianca Miller? Because it's the shift, right? Because for me, I believe that when it comes to business, and my experience is that it's all in you already. It's all there in you already. You just don't know how to bring it out. And a lot of the time, it's very limiting beliefs. It's limiting beliefs. Like, you have to be there before you're there, right? And I feel like growing up in an African household with me, it's very much like we don't carry last. Like, you make sure you're on top. So I feel like I grew up with quite a robust mindset.
Sure.
But then in my experience of branching out and helping people, I realized that, not everyone believes in themselves. Actually, when you break down,
Most
I'm a bit scared of this, I'm a bit scared. Actually, let's break that down. You don't believe that you can do it. You don't feel you're actually worth it. And I have a strong knowing that I know I'm a legend, not in a way that's cocky, right? So, you know, what would you say for you, if you were to think on your past, if there was like a pivotal moment that made you come into yourself? I guess from what you're saying, I know that you had, you know, a career in recruitment and those things probably stretched and challenged you in itself. But is there anything that you can think of that I think, oh, this was quite pivotal for
I mean,
you?
I think the first thing is when I look back, you know the saying, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. I don't think, if I look back on what I was delivering 15 years ago, it probably wasn't great. Like when I look back on it now, I'm like, that could have been so much better, but it was good enough. Right. It was good enough to start to build experience, to build knowledge, to build clients. And so I think that's the thing that holds people back a lot, is like actually not that confidence to just get started. But in answer to your question, when did I go from Bianca to Bianca? Like I think there's little moments. There's moments, like if I look back, I think I started out right and I had no clients, right? So one thing that pushed me was I hated recruitment, hated it with a passion, didn't even want to go to work, right? That's always a good
motivator.
A good motivator. Like, please don't make me do this anymore.
Can't do this,
Then I started out and I didn't have any clients, and I again, personal brand being very important. When I was delivering my training at Accenture, there was a training production company that manages the training, and I'd built a relationship with them. And I had scored the highest they'd ever seen for someone delivering training. So when I decided to leave the job, I went to them first. Hey, I'm going to leave my job. This is what I'm going to start. What do you think?
Did that cause a conflict of interest? Any
No,
drama?
I'd left.
You'd left.
Yeah. So they were like, well, amazing. Congratulations. We'll support you. What do you need? On reflection, I should have taken more support from there. But I took what I thought I needed, which was, this is what I do. Is any clients that need my help?
Wow.
And they said, okay, actually, we've got someone. And it was a global bank. And I traveled with them across universities across the UK delivering this training. So that kind of gives you that little boost. But you're still not there yet. You know what I mean? So you get that little boost. Then you get your own. I got my own first client, which was London School of Economics. I was like, oh, boost. Then I got another client, which was, I went to a networking event, went up to one of the speakers, gave her my elevator pitch. She worked for Santander, and the pitch was basically, you need me. And she was like, great, we don't need you, but I know someone who might.
Oh, good.
Introduced me to this law firm, and they became my client. They've been my client ever since. And so those little things give you a little boost. And it's not, I don't think there's a moment where you're like, overnight, you're like, oh my God, I am me. Like, I just think it was little moments that keep building your confidence slowly. Then I went on the Apprentice, and you know,
a whole nother
confidence boost, but also not like it's both. Because I came off the show, and you know, for your perspective as a black woman, you're like, well done, you've done incredibly well. The internet is not always like that.
Oh, how was that? Tell me about the Apprentice and like your experience. Like you say, everyone's like, wow, what an amazing role model.
So you get some people who are like, wow, go for it. Then you got the other people who are like, go back to your country. Like the level of racism is something I've never experienced in my life. The messages, the kind of like the death threats, it was intense. So, you know, when you think about, TV, that must have been a major boost. Now you're Bianca, but you're Bianca, but you've also got these messages. And then, of course, then I wrote my first book. That became a bestseller, big boost. Then you write another book, that becomes a Sunday Times bestseller, big boost. Then you get an award. So the recognition continues to build you, but I'm still not where I want to be. Like, there's still more to achieve.
More,
and so,
I'm scared. I don't know what else we're going to see of you. No, that's really good advice, that you don't start ready at all. You know, your first client, that first client, when Accenture said yes, must have been like, oh my gosh, like this, it works. And you just need that one client, I feel, just that your first client just shows you proof of concept that you do have a need that you're fulfilling. If you can get one, you can get two, you can get three. So I guess it's like just starting and getting perfect as you're getting along. Your confidence grows with action. I think that's the same with me. I'm very much like a messy executor. So it's like, if I have an idea, I'm like, okay, I'll do it. I'm sure, like with my Dubai event, like I've never done events before. Like with my Dubai event, I'm sure there's many things from, if an event specialist was to like break it down, they'd be like, okay, that needs to. But for me, I'm just like, let's just go.
I did an event.
Let's go, yeah. Let's go.
And it was a good event.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so.
People say we have a speaking academy. Yes, we do. But it's actually an events business.
Okay.
Because we have our speaking academy. We have our showcase where our speakers get to be on stage. Again, we hire a massive venue that costs thousands of pounds. We put people in the room so the speakers have an opportunity to speak to a live audience. You know, then we'll do a couple of conferences a year. Like,
wow.
It's an events business. We have webinars. These are all events.
Right.
And I think when people think of a webinar or it's just a webinar, no, it's an event.
You're right, yeah.
It's just a virtual event.
That's so true.
Or football league for their kids. Like there's always going to be something I think that helps you to feel like you're fulfilled in ways that are more than just about money.
Right. And do you feel like business is for everybody? Do you feel like anybody can open a business? Everybody has a business within them?
I think that when we think about business, I think we are all running a business, and sometimes the business is just your life. like I think if you think about business, whether it's your own business or you work for an organization, you're still in business.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that people miss, which is why some people can have an incredible career trajectory, is that some people are just really good at understanding that it's not their business, but it is a business. And they look at the bottom line, they say, how can I contribute to that bottom line? How can I solve that problem? And that's why they end up being very senior or becoming partners in organizations, because it's not their business, but they recognize the value of being in business. And so I think you are the CEO of you, and you are in charge of the business that is your life and the choices you make. And so therefore, I think we're all in business.
We're all in business, yeah. I think as well, they call it, is it intrapreneurship? When you're sort of like business-minded, but within a corporate, and those type of people excel.
Yeah.
Like
and those are the people my dad was talking about. I think when I think back to what my dad was saying to me, when he said, go and get a good corporate job and stick at it, he probably knew I've got the entrepreneurial skill set, which means that I would be a valuable investment or a valuable asset in an organization, because I would still think entrepreneurially, but I'd be in an organization. So I'd get to the top.
Yes.
And still have
absolutely
the safety net of, you know.
Yeah, because you don't have an employee mindset. Right?
Yeah.
And how do you find working with your partner? I mean, I don't know just from what I see online, I feel like you guys do a lot of business together.
We do,
Is that correct?
Yeah.
How do you find that? I get this question all the time.
And how do you answer it?
I don't know any better.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So I answer it.
Okay, so you guys have been
not always, no. I mean, we you know, we have our own businesses and we have our businesses together.
Yes, same.
But we've been together so long. I think we've been together like 17, 18 years now.
Oh, wow.
It'll be 10 years married this year.
Oh.
And so we're so used to working together that it's now it just is what it is. It's just who we are.
Right.
But how is it? You know, I think we're very good at, I don't know if that's true, actually. I was going to say we're good at keeping business and personal separate, but actually the two things are like, it's just one thing, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Like, we're still good at having
Do you talk about business at dinner?
Yeah.
Same.
But so I was saying this to someone the other day, and they said, oh, do you talk about business at dinner? That's really bad. And I was like, do you talk about work at dinner?
True.
Like, what else do you have to talk about? When people come home from work, they'll probably say, how was your day?
Yeah.
Oh, my boss. Oh, my colleague. Oh, the person I was managing. Oh, can you believe what Sarah did from HR? Like, you're going to still, why am I picking on Sarah's? I'm sorry to all the Sarahs. You're still going to have that conversation. Right. So why do people think because it's business, we should stop talking about it the moment we enter private life? It just doesn't
make sense, does it? Because it is your life, right? Finances are so important, and it can make or break a couple, right?
Absolutely.
I always say that finances is the number one reason for divorce, right?
It is,
so it's like, you need to talk about this stuff often as well. Like, get used to speaking about this stuff. You know, it strengthens you, and you know, I don't think there's anybody else that you can trust in business in terms of decision making than your life spouse. You know, so it's very important to me.
But also we have like a saying in our kind of business relationship which is basically on your head, be it. Okay. So if you make a decision, it's your decision.
You've got to deal with it.
Yeah. So rather than us being like on top of each other, okay, we both have to sign off on this. We're not like that. We're like, all right, if you want to do it, do it.
Yeah.
If it works, fantastic. If it doesn't work,
don't say nothing. Yeah.
So I think that having that means that you're not having to always ask for sign off or validation. We can both do our own thing and it works.
Yeah. That's so nice. So that you have different roles and you've got mutual respect for each other.
Yes.
You do this, you do that. If you've made that decision, that's fine.
Yeah.
Cool. You're going to deal with that. And I think that's probably what people get wrong, where it's like, I think what's works for us is having different roles. I feel like if it was like, I mean, it is a hierarchy in a sense where it's like, you know, we all run things past each other, but I'm left to my own devices. He's left to his own devices. And, you know, we're all pulling into the same pots.
Yeah.
All the same goals.
We're working towards the same goal.
Right.
We might go at it a different way. We may ask each other for our thoughts and feelings or strategy and so on. But ultimately, we're working towards the same goal. We might go at it a different way, but we're still advancing our position.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what would you say, like, what advice would you give to somebody that's watching this and maybe they're in a corporate job and maybe they like their job? I feel like, you know, if you've been in your job for a extensive period of time, I feel like you're probably very good at it.
Yeah.
You probably can do it with your eyes closed and you probably like it. But you probably have that feeling that deep down that, I call it an itch.
Yeah.
It's like, it's an itch. Like there's more out there.
Yeah.
There's more out there. And you kind of find a few people as they get older, they're in that sort of like, I do want to do something else, but I just don't know what. And I do like my job. Don't leave my job. Any advice for that woman, I would say, that's in that sort of itchy phase? They're not uncomfortable. Sure. They're not broke. You know what I mean? But it's like, I want to do more and I know I'm amazing.
Yeah. I mean, there's two ways to go about it. There's seek out the satisfaction within your organization. So what I mean by that is maybe you are content, I guess is what we're talking about. You're content within your role, but you feel that entrepreneurial itch or you feel that itch for more. And so within the organization, you seek out opportunity by getting that promotion or going for that job in a different department or something like that. Or you now want to be part of that employee resource group, so you're doing something side of desk. So that's option one.
Yeah.
Option two is, you know, you're content within your role, but you want something external that gives you a bit of that creativity or that little bit of risk. You know, you all want a little bit of risk, right? You know, that little,
like to play around
that little bit of fear,
excitement.
Excitement. So you start that side hustle, right? You do something on the side, and a lot of my mentees who have gone through the speaking academy have full-time jobs, but their side hustle on the side is speaking.
Okay.
So as a result, they're getting speaking bookings and they're getting paid £2,000 to £5,000. That's a brilliant side hustle.
Absolutely.
Does that mean they have to put in some extra work on the side? Of course. They need to be good at, you know, networking, and they need to be good at, you know, doing outreach and speaking to clients and having fact-finding calls. But all of those skill sets that they're learning on the side of their job feeds into the work they do in their day job. So actually, as a result, I'm seeing people getting that side hustle money, which is big money for a side hustle, right?
Yeah.
But also learning skills that they're then putting into their day job and advancing their career at the same time. So now you're getting, you know, both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
So that's option two. Option three is the entrepreneurial itch is so strong that you need to leave. Like that's...
It comes down to that, right?
It is what it is, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes, you know, people want to leave, but they can't for various reasons. Of course, you know, finances being a major factor or fear.
Yes.
But it has to be about, how do I plan for that exit? If what I really want to do is leave, then maybe starting a side hustle and getting it to a point where I'm now building a consistent enough income that I can make it my main hustle. Maybe that's the route. But for some, it's a leap of faith. It's I've got a certain amount of savings. I'm going to jump.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see, hopefully guided by a mentor or someone, but I'm going to see how I can make this happen.
Yeah. No.
And I think all three options are valid.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You were definitely number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
I was a jump and hope.
It's got to work.
Hope for the parachute.
Right. It's got to work. Like,
it's got to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't work, you're employable. Like, I always think that, you know, if you've had a consistent job, you know, you can get another one.
To it. Yeah. That's it. Exactly. And yeah, no, that's absolutely lovely. I completely agree. Like, you know, it's in the mindset. It's in the mindset. Are you big on mindset? Like, what do you do to feed your mindset, keep it robust?
I'm big on mindset. So our 4th book, which came out a couple of months back, is called Manifested Action. Okay. And the reason it's called that is because what I was finding is there's a lot of conversation around manifestation dreams. And people are saying, oh, I've got big dreams. I've manifested this, that, and the other. But they weren't necessarily taking the required action to make their dream a reality. Okay. And so I'm big on what sort of what kind of mindset do I need to have to nurture to get me to where I want to go? How confident do I need to be? What steps do I need to take? How do I get my mind right? Because it's that mindset that often creates limitations. And I meet so many people that have the ability.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
It's frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you've got the ability. You can do it. Let me tell you now, if you're watching this, you're like, you can do it.
Absolutely.
But you stop yourself from doing it because you don't trust that you can make it happen. And that for me is sad.
Very. It's like you're looking at wasted potential.
Yeah.
But then how do you build the trust? Because you can tell them they can do it, but I guess
they have to believe it for themselves.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Exactly.
But I think having a support system and the right guidance helps. Like I've seen so many people in our mentoring communities, because we did business mentoring for about 7 years before we did speaking.
Okay.
And I saw so many people who just didn't have the confidence. But now, because they were in a community of like-minded people, because they had Brian and I as their mentors, because they had an accountability partner, they're now in an environment where they can't lose because they don't want to lose, because everyone's looking at them to win with them.
Yes.
And I think your environment can shape whether you think you can do something or not. And when you see someone else doing it, you're like, I can do it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So put yourself in the right environment to make you feel like you can win. Be in a room of winners.
Yes. Oh, no, so true. And Dubai is amazing for that.
Yes, agreed.
Dubai is just... What sparked your move? Just
that. I mean, Dubai is like being in a country of winners. You know, people want to win.
Yeah.
There's that entrepreneurial spirit just is very much alive in all the places you go and the people you meet. People are open to networking. You know, you and I may never have met in the UK. I don't,
True.
you know.
No, you're so right.
Yeah. So, you know, you're in Dubai, you've reached out to me, can you come? And I'm like, sure, no problem. In the UK, it might have been a faff, like I live in Surrey, it's going to take me 2 hours to get to you. Let me make my diary work. There isn't that here.
No.
And so it's partly that, the entrepreneurial spirit, safety, massively important for me now, having a young family, lifestyle, sunshine.
Yeah, it just ticks a lot of boxes, doesn't it?
It just ticks a lot of boxes.
Yeah. But you got to know what you're doing here.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to know what you're doing. Yeah, there's a lot going on, so you can easily be like, oh,
you can get lost.
Yeah,
you could get lost in the sauce.
Right,
you have to, yeah.
So
stay focused, find the right people.
Do you think that you're gonna do, like, what's the future? I mean, I know you probably have massive plans, but I mean, 2026, like, do you think you will do like events in Dubai or like, you know, I know what you do as very UK based, right? What's the plans for you?
So we've got our Maximum Achievement Summit Dubai happening this year.
Oh, nice. When's that?
So it's in May.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a 5-day event, and it's an opportunity for people to build their personal brand, look at their content strategy, and sales pipeline. And we're going to create. We've got sessions that we deliver to help them with all of those facets, as well as some time in the studio, and we've got a yacht party and a brunch,
lovely.
So you're getting a bit of both.
What dates in May?
Oh my God, you're testing me. I mean,
cool.
we can.
I'll put the dates in there.
But it's 5 days in, and we did this 2 years ago, and it was just incredible. People had such an exceptional experience, and we wanted to do it again.
Yeah.
So we've got that, and then we will bring our speaking academy here.
Nice.
And then we've launched our podcast. So Self-Made Unfiltered will be launching soon. So yeah, lots of different things happening.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited.
But flying back and forth to the UK every now and again for the UK clients, but you know, it's a journey.
It's a journey. It's embrace it. We're thankful. Like, you know, you're amazing. Amen. You're an inspiration to many, and you know, I feel like you are like a benchmark for a lot of people as well. Like growing up, like seeing you, what you represent. Although I know there's a lot of drama, but from us, we just saw shiny Bianca. We didn't see everything go the death threats. Like, you know.
Tell me about it.
But I mean, no, it's amazing. I'm absolutely honoured to have you on the podcast. I've learned so much just from this conversation, so thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And thank you guys, and we'll see you on the next podcast.
Thank you for having me.